The UFC White House event approaches. It's time for Dana White to sell you a holy shit moment. An event so peak, you can't even begin to understand what's on the line. Ilya's legacy, Justin Gaethje's soul, the debut of dump truck Alex Pereira, fraud check part 2 of Bo Nickal, or Michael Chandler, a man so obsessed with Conor McGregor, he's settling for his Brazilian clone instead. I bring to you today the top secret game plan that Justin Gaethje can use to defeat Ilia Topuria. And no, it's not sneaking in a White House provided Glock into the cage. It is intentional fouls. Look, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, alright? Justin's got to promote those Onyx gloves somehow. But what nobody is talking about is how big of cheaters that Justin Gaethje and Ciryl Gane are, so much so that they could potentially ruin this entire card. Ilia Topuria is this close to either an Arman fight or Islam Makhachev at welterweight. That is pound for pound versus pound for pound. We cannot afford to miss out on that. Alex Pereira is this close to triple champ status in the UFC, conquering the middleweight, light heavyweight, and now heavyweight division. Who is he fighting, you may ask? Ciryl No Mercy Gane, the man who's best known for his world-famous double-knuckle deep eye pokes that even John Jones would be jealous of. You know, back of the head bonanza, literally just ruining Tom Aspinall's career, nuking the main event of UFC Abu Dhabi. Like, how does the UFC trust Ciryl Gane? Ciryl Gane's plot armor needs to be studied because he's still worthy of a co-main event, still worthy of an interim title fight. Like, I think he should be cut from the UFC if he ever fouls anyone ever again. These dumbfuck refs who, like, factory reset after every fight, like, forgetting all the previous warnings they've given out. You should get one hard warning your entire UFC career, let alone multiple per fight. Like, Alex Pereira, good news for us, this man is immune to fouls. He's immune to low blows. He just shrugs them off, knocks you out. So yeah, these fights are actually kind of close when you think about it, not because of actual skill, but because Justin Gaethje and Ciryl Gane are two of the sport's most high-level cheaters that for whatever reason just always get away with them. They just have this baked-in plot armor that, like, they never get point deductions, they get infinite warnings. The UFC White House card is kind of trash, alright? It's going to be nowhere near as cool as, like, the Las Vegas Sphere card. See, that was generational. That felt like this futuristic, like, Coliseum globe. I think they need to go back there. Like, the Las Vegas Sphere, that was tons of fun. It's just like Dana and Trump's way of impressing their billionaire buddies. Like, I couldn't give a shit. They're gonna run triple the ads, triple the propaganda. Like, there's only 7 fights on this card, but I swear it's gonna feel longer than a regular event because of all the, like, shit they're gonna try and pull on it. So get ready for that. I think it's dumb. Fighting is for the people. It deserves an arena. People deserve to go and show support to the fighters. The fighters like walking out in an arena and the support. This is just some gimmick bullshit. I low-key hope Mother Nature rolls in and just humbles the whole place. Like, I'm talking thunderstorm, harsh winds. But the event will bring in a ton of new viewers, which is great for the growth of the sport. A lot more casuals that we get to educate on the nitty-gritty bits of the game, so sign me up for that. But let's get you guys a little preview of these matchups. Dig into some stats and analysis before I drop official predictions next week. Ilia El Matador Topuria. We've talked about this one already. I've made a full breakdown if you guys want to go check that out. Nothing's changed here. Normally these stats I mix around a bit depending on new information, but Justin Gaethje is cooked because as the years have went on, Trevor Whitman has made him a lot more technical, and now he's sort of like tall man Gaethje, like the tall man, the lean back. The boxing has improved massively for Gaethje, but, you know, his calf kicks went away. His punch power has considerably dropped just out of nowhere. Gaethje was better in like 2018, 2019 when he was just pure brawler, pure drunken master, but now he's CTE ridden, trying to be technical, so it's going to be a recipe for disaster. I have him at low grappling here because, like, look, Gaethje is an underrated anti-grappler. He likes to dine out on his wrestling all the time. I put Topuria up there with, like, Khabib and Oliveira in terms of, like, getting Gaethje to the ground. I think it will be Really easy to get Gaethje down if Topuria needs to take it there, but I don't even think he has to. Ilia Topuria's body shots are absolutely devastating, and that's always been Gaethje's hidden weakness all the way back to Eddie Alvarez. It's going to open up the chin massively. And look, Gaethje is a crafty little uppercut. Gaethje has that Trevor Whitman, like he trains out of the Trevor Whitman bat cave, so like, maybe Gaethje can, like, have some success, but, like, what does that success even look like? Like, landing a couple, like, grazing jabs on Ilia? Maybe, like, Ilia goes, whoa, I gotta take this guy down. But then he will, and then he'll submit Gaethje. So, like, nowhere in this fight I'm worried for Ilia. Ilia's literally just gonna march forward, freak out Justin with how hard he hits, like he does with everybody, get him back to the cage, and just 4, 5, 6 punch combination, just body shots all over Gaethje. The chin opens up, and it's night-night for Gaethje. That's Gaethje's career done. We have to, like, get real and start talking about what this lightweight division looks like with Gaethje not in it. Luckily, he ended the hype of Paddy before he retired. That will be his, like, last shining moment. So, Ilia Topuria by destruction, by KO. We move on. Alex Pereira, Ciryl Gane. These stats have not changed either, although my opinion of Gane is never improving. Let's just leave it at that. But as for fight styles, look, what Gane has here are some pretty major advantages for striking contests. How fleet of foot he is. His ability to move laterally at heavyweight is sort of like unseen at heavyweight. Nobody can do it. But luckily, you know, Alex Pereira comes from a lighter weight class, middleweight, where he was killing himself, cutting like 100 fucking pounds. But light heavyweight as well. I don't worry for Alex Pereira in this fight for just the single shot devastation. Gane doesn't have power. If you've ever witnessed a Ciryl Gane finish, he's like, he needs to windmill his punches. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Will Ciryl Gane grapple? I don't think so. He's sort of a knucklehead down there, pulling heel hooks on Francis Ngannou, throwing the fight, giving up position. These two are going to strike. It's going to be Alex Pereira hunting down Gane on the back foot. Alex Pereira sometimes has his chin wide open in the air. It's just hardwired into his style. He still thinks he's got the big kickboxing gloves on that he can hide behind, but look what happened. Israel Adesanya snuck one around through the side and knocked him completely out cold. That was devastating. I know that was at middleweight when he was a shell of himself. He's going to pack a lot more durability in here, so he can definitely take Gane's punches, but although it is hard to trust him completely now that he's all caked up in a new division, looking extra thick. Close fight. Still haven't made up my mind yet. Sean O'Malley, yet again, blessed by the MMA gods above. This is an easy matchup. This is a simple matchup. Amien Zahabi is a great fighter. Like, he's tough. He comes forward. He has great coaches. He has a great mind for the game, Amien Zahabi, but nothing he does offensively is complex, is unique. Like, Amien Zahabi is a guy with no special moves, and you need special moves to beat Sean O'Malley. People are going to look at his last performance against Song Yadong, and they're going to bring up how Sean O'Malley hasn't gotten a KO in multiple years now, but like, Song Yadong is lethal, man. He's composed, he's a young veteran. Merab Dvalishvili is sort of a nightmare matchup for Sean. A spazzy little, like, hard to hit ball of muscle that can, like, take you down on repeat. Sean O'Malley's never beaten Merab, so yeah, his career sort of got stained by those matchups, and like, the recent generation of MMA fan has seen Sean O'Malley do nothing but win close decisions and lose title fights. I guess he did beat Marlon Vera's ass not too long ago, and he will do the same to Amien Zahabi. Derek Lewis can do the funniest thing on this White House card, because Josh Hokit had a fight against Curtis Blaydes where, like, all praise to you. I was close to picking him, I swear, but I caved and went with the experience of Blaydes, but Blaydes is overrated on the feet. Curtis Blaydes doesn't really have punch power like Derek Lewis does, evidenced by the fact that Derek Lewis delivered one of the nastiest knockouts on Curtis Blaydes I've ever seen in my fucking life. That is like a live leak worthy finish, like seriously on a gore site. And don't be fooled, because this is a tricky matchup for Hokit. He cannot afford to get hit with a single punch from Derek Lewis, or he's probably going night-night. Derek Lewis, the biggest heavyweight right now on the roster with the most firepower. Granted, he is on half speed and a physical disgrace. Josh Hokit is the smallest heavyweight, so of course he's super speedy. He has wrestling to go to, so Hokit can be the pick here. If you like Hokit, I don't blame you, but it's just always been this way. Derek Lewis can fluke out literally anyone on this planet, so Josh Hokit is also a hittable guy. Blades actually outstruck him in that fight, which is super concerning. Blades is a wrestler first, not a striker. Josh Hokit isn't heavily muscled. I think he is big boned though, but like still no power, so I don't know how he approaches Derek Lewis. I guess just rinse and repeat takedowns for 3 rounds and make it a boring one, because you can't stand and bang with Lewis. You're going to get sent to the MMA gods. So I don't know about this one, guys. You know, the devil on my shoulder is sort of leaning Derek Lewis by fluke, but we'll get into it more next week. Well, Michael Chandler waited around for 3 years for the Conor McGregor fight, you know, the red panty night, and he literally got the short end of the stick, because Mauricio Ruffy is like prime McGregor out of Brazil, except you're not getting the McGregor paycheck. So, worst case scenario for Chandler. The thing with Michael Chandler is he looks top 5 for the first 3 minutes of his fights until just chucking all technique and training out of the window and becoming one of the worst fighters I've ever seen. Telegraphing his right hand, only throwing his right hand, literally not having a single combination in his arsenal. The striking of Michael Chandler is some of the worst in the UFC, I'm not even joking. Mauricio Ruffy is a dangerous guy, but a flawed fighter. Like, Mauricio Ruffy hates to be pushed backwards. I don't think he can really wrestle at a high level. He's shown to scramble well, but I think any capable wrestler like an Arman Sarukian would find the holes in Mauricio Ruffy's game, but incredible KO artist. Lightning fast pull counters. You saw that against Rafael Fiziev. Knocked him out brutally, and Fiziev is no joke. Muay Thai maestro, Muay Thai madman, literally looks like Ragnar Lothbrok. Michael Chandler has nothing for Ruffy in this fight. He needs a fight. He's desperate. He saw that McGregor's fighting Holloway now. He's on somebody help this man. He might end it all. So he said, hey, you know what? I'll hop on the White House event and get smoked on it. So this will be Chandler's last fight. Mauricio Ruffy and Fighting Nerds all the way. Even though he left the Fighting Nerds, you know, I'm not salty, I'm not bitter about it, but we're gonna go Mauricio Ruffy on this one with high confidence. The return of the Mind Reader, the telepathic Bo Nickal, this fucking guy. I'm still not a huge believer in Bo Nickal. Luckily, he trains at American Top Team and has sort of like detached himself from like the NCAA world, you know, even in mindset as well. You can tell after that RDR loss that Bo Nickal is getting a lot more intelligent and like grizzled as an MMA fighter. He finally took that first loss and it turned him into a bit of a savage. I like how he's talking on interviews now. He's a lot less of a softy, you know, wrestler boy, and he's more grizzled for the game, so he's easily going to get rid of Kyle Daukaus, who does sort of stick out like a sore thumb on this card because it's true. He's cannon fodder. Bo Nickal is going to destroy him any way he wants. This is not a close fight. And a sneaky underrated scrap to open up this White House event. Diego Lopes, Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia might just break out and go global on this event. I'm serious. Now, the stock of Diego Lopes is always going to be high because he's a fan favorite and he's been fighting Volkanovski twice. So, of course, he's going to get extra credit. A guy who gets no credit is Steve Garcia. This guy is a mutant, man. One of the biggest featherweights with the most firepower. This fight is going to be who breaks first. This fight is going to be who KOs who first. Diego Lopes, I've slept on him in the past. I picked Gene Silva to beat him. Steve Garcia is just different, dude. Like, this is the most dangerous opponent that I think Diego Lopes has ever faced. There's a lot of featherweights that just don't move the needle. Like, Movsar Evloev, people love to just claim is Volk ready, but like, he doesn't sell. He doesn't fucking sell one bit. So I'm team Steve Garcia. I don't know if he wins this fight, but I know Steve Garcia has a piss poor resume in terms of name value, but like, in terms of excitement, I think Steve Garcia is a better prospect than Movsar Evloev. In terms of like, I want to see you fight and like finish somebody, Evloev just doesn't do it for me. Steve Garcia does. I've really come around to this guy. This is a violent fucking fight, and you cannot afford to miss the opening of this card. This one is going to feed families. So, the UFC White House is a real thing. It's got some seriously fun fights on it. It could either massively deliver or all come crumbling down. I'm serious. Thunderstorm rolls in, harsh weather. Who knows how this thing's gonna go? As always, drop a comment down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all real soon.